Hi everyone, it's Kim here from Ultimate Speaker, bringing you Momentum Monday on this beautiful, beautiful spring day. And I thought today, because we're looking at different strategies and speaking skills to help take your speaking skills to another level. And I thought today we'd focus on the power of the pause. Now, you might have heard that expression, and I wonder if you think of someone that puts a lot of, you've heard a speaker speak and they put a lot of ums and ahs into their talk or their presentation, it can be a real distraction, can't it? And it's come up a little bit this week, this morning, and it also came up last week when I was doing a presentation in Brisbane. So I thought maybe this is a perfect opportunity to have a chat with you around why this happens and why it's so important to actually take out those ums and ahs and replace them with a pause. And it's actually really easy. Once you know how, it's very, very easy. And I'm going to give you a wonderful tool that is easy to apply, easy to remember, and will help you if you feel that you're one of those people that are filling the space with ums and ahs. Because the thing is, when we are doing this, it is a distraction. If we're wanting to come across more polished, we're wanting to come across more articulate, we're wanting to get our message across and keep everyone engaged while we're sharing it, if we're filling it with ums and ahs, people tend to switch off. They tend to be listening to the ums and ahs and the fillers, whatever the fillers are, whether it's the you knows or whatever it is. They're listening to that instead of listening to the content, the beautiful content that you're sharing. So that's why it's so important that we actually change that pattern and help ourselves overcome, because it will continue to distract, and it's such a shame because you've got fabulous content to share. So let's minimize the distractions. People are distracted as a lot anyway. Let's minimize what's going on for them. And an example of this happened with, John F. Kennedy's daughter, Caroline. And there was an example of that when I heard her speak on a video. And all these ums and ahs. One listener actually counted 28 ums, there were 38 ahs and you knows, all within 5 minutes. That is just a tremendous amount for people to be listening in that really short time. I mean, that's an extreme, and from what I understand when looking, it was very much about her lack of confidence. And that's the reason why, I teach those and I train how to build your confidence as a speaker so that you're really getting out there with the full impact. And the thing is, when you want to get out and you want to speak to the, your body, governing body, you're wanting to speak to teams, you're wanting to speak to clients, you're wanting to speak to, whether that be one-on-one or get your message across in the groups, the less distractions there are, the easier, the more flow your presentation, your words will come out as, and people will come on the journey with you. So let's have a quick look at why this happens. Now, this is the feedback that clients share with me as to why it happens. And the reason for it is that sometimes they feel they're not going to be articulate enough unless they fill that space with ums and ahs. They want to sound intelligent, and because we've got that fear of coming up, look, I must sound intelligent, we put all this pressure on ourselves that we must. And because we're doing that, we're not actually fully in that present space of being able to deliver what we're saying. Eckhart Tolle actually talks about this. He says most humans are not fully living in the present moment, and unconsciously we're thinking that the next moment is actually more important than this moment. And the problem with that is that can be the distraction for us. And then, of course, because we're not fully present, we can fill that space with ums and ahs. The other thing is they get concerned, this is what clients share with me, they get concerned that they're going to forget their words. So again, preoccupied with the idea of I mustn't forget my words, instead of being really present to, okay, what do I need to say right now? What does this audience need right now? What's happening within the audience? They make it about themselves as opposed to making it about the audience. The other thing that happens when clients are speaking, they're saying that the ums and ahs come up and any other fillers, is because they're the content, but it's like, what is it? It's like they've forgotten to breathe. They realize that they're so tight, their body is tight, so it's almost like a habit, a reflex action to go into ums and ahs. And this is why we focus so much on breathing and taking a deep breath down. And maybe just try it for a moment. Take a couple of deep breaths now. And again. Doesn't it feel better? So this can be, you're breathing such a beautiful way to get us back into that present moment and help us extract that. Because what happens, and let's move on to, we know why this can be a distraction for your audience. It's actually the opposite. When we're thinking, oh, I won't be intelligent enough, I won't come across as well, or I need to come across, when we don't need to fill the space in our words, because the power of the pause is actually giving our audience, whoever we're speaking with, the time and space to be able to take in exactly what you're saying. You're giving them the time to absorb it. You imagine if you're doing very much a technical content piece, or it's a new piece for the people that you're speaking with, and you're going in and you're rapidly, that's the word I'm trying to say, rapidly speaking and sharing your information, and they're trying to take it all in, and at the same time you've got and ah, that can be that they're not going to hear the level of the message, the level and the message that you're wanting to deliver if you're filling that space with ums and ahs. The other thing too is when you give it that space, you're actually respecting the audience, yes, so that they can hear the information that you're sharing. But the audience will actually respect you because you appear, and you are in fact doing this, you appear to be thinking about what you're saying. You, instead of rapidly saying the words that you need to say, you're considering what it is that you want to share with this audience. And that's a beautiful thing to do for your audience, because when you're in that space of like, okay, I'm present to you, just like we were talking about just a moment ago with Eckhart Tolle's quote, and I'm present to you, I'm being present to the room, okay, I know what this room, I'm feeling what this room needs. You're respecting that space by giving them that space to hear it. So they're feeling that themselves because they feel you're taking care of their needs by holding that space for them without filling it with words. The other thing is that, you think of someone who does stand-up comedy, for example, or someone who is on stage, an actor or something. Notice how they use the power of pause before they do the punchline, or before that they say something really funny. There's always that pause just before they hit you with that wonderful punchline and get us all laughing. So you see, power of pause is used in many, many different realms. And this is why speaking from the stage and speaking to your teams and your networking events, wherever it is, power of the pause comes into everywhere, all of it. Now, I said that I would give you an exercise on how you can overcome this so that you can start, if you are doing it, start replacing those ums and ahs and you knows and ands or whatever it is you're doing, or right, replacing all of those filler words with a pause. So the thing is, when you are aware, here it is, just a few steps. When you are aware that you are going to do a pause, or you're aware that you are doing pauses, okay, you've got conscious awareness of it. So what I'm going to ask you to do is right now, choose a word that you can replace that or ah with. Now, it doesn't matter that you've said the or ah, just immediately change it, swap it for another word. So for example, some funny words come up when I'm working with clients. It's quite hilarious. So one client said, I said, so what's your word? What will you replace it with? She said, toe. Okay, let's do toe. Another client said sandwich. Another said clock. I know another beautiful, wonderful client says Batman. So whatever your word is, it's about choosing the word that's fun, it's memorable, and because you have conscious awareness of it, that's the word you instantly change it with. Now, what happens from here is you continue to practice it. So every time you hear yourself say it or you're about to say it, say toe, say sandwich, say Batman, all right? Because you've got that conscious awareness, very, very quickly, you'll be surprised at how quickly that this changes for you, because you're changing the neural pathways, the wiring in your brain from the habit that it's learned to a new habit. You're rewiring things in your brain so that you remember this. Now, what happens is, and this is really quite fun, you will be catching yourself before you say the word. And you'll find then, because you've got that conscious awareness of, I'll swap it for Batman, you'll have conscious awareness of, I'll swap it for nothing. The space of the pause. And this is where the magic will happen for you, because you will see that transition to putting those spaces in. Now, the other thing I'd like to add to this is continue to keep your breathing. We touched on breathing before. Keep breathing deep. Keep your breathing going. It's such an essential part with every aspect of speaking. In fact, the group that I spoke with on Friday, I shared with them a 15-minute Brave Speaker Toolkit tool that they can use. It's a gift from me that they can use so that they can really practice and see the importance of breathing and all the other bits that go with Brave, but to use it as a tool. So if you want that, let me know, because I'm very, very happy to share that with you. So you go into it, you've got your space, you've swapped it, you're no longer needing to swap the word, you take into the power of that pause, that space, and you keep breathing deep, and there you have your recipe for success. Now, I know this might sound a little bit new. It absolutely works. It works with every client that I've worked with that has had this challenge around ums and ahs. So I would love to hear how you go. Let me know how this works for you. And we have some upcoming events coming up in September and October. I would love to share that with you, which I will on the bottom of this text here, of this post. And you'll be able to see if there's which date would work for you. It's a 2-hour workshop, which is presenting to the board, to pitching to your company. It's going to be a fun, complimentary 2-hour, absolutely jam-packed, full of really fantastic information, which you will love. So I'd love to see you there, and let me know if you have any questions. All right, so enjoy this day. We'll talk soon. Until next time, bye-bye. See ya. Bye-bye.